what's up everybody? True Boxing here. Thank you for coming back to Get Hit with the Truth. So today we're going to continue my 2021 year-end top 10s as we look at my co-number one. I usually don't like to do co-number ones, but this year it's fitting. I have two guys tied for first place in the 154-pound Super Welterweight division, and the first guy we're going to talk about is the undefeated WBO Super Welterweight champion, Brian Castano, who entered the year. He was my Castano coming in the year was actually tied for I think it was tied for third coming into the year, and he had a big opportunity, a mandatory title shot against Patrick Teixeira on in February, and he was favored to take the title, but there was a lot of people that, thought it was going to be a firefight and it could go either way. And Brian Castano made sure it wasn't. He went out there and completely outworked and outclassed Patrick Teixeira. He got inside of his chest and just started beating him up, and Teixeira couldn't keep up with the work rate. Teixeira landed some shots in the process, but Brian Castano was just too damn good as he forced the action. He went in there and won a convincing 12-round unanimous decision and became a world champion, the WBO champion. After that win, there was a lot of talk, and they got it done for Castano to challenge Jermell Charlo for the undisputed Super Welterweight Championship, as Charlo had all the other three world titles. Excuse me. So in July, they try to crown only the seventh man in history to unify all four belts. They try to crown, a new undisputed champion at 154 for the first time ever. And the fight started off, toe-to-toe. Both guys had their success, but early on, Charlo hurt Castano. Looked like he could put him out. Castano weathered the storm. Then in the middle rounds, Castano battled and really, in my opinion, swept a lot of the middle rounds. And heading into the 9th and 10th round, I had Castano winning comfortably, and Charlo was going to have to come back and score a knockout. But Charlo swept the 10th, 11th, and 12th round and hurt Castano again. And the fight ended, in my opinion, I had Castano winning 7-5, so it was close. But when the judges came back, it was declared a draw, and no undisputed champion was crowned. The titles remained where they were. Castano held on to the WBO belt, and Charlo held on to the other three titles. So there was a lot of lobbying before the end of the year trying to figure out the mandatory situation because the two sides wanted the rematch. There was a time when a lot of people thought it wasn't going to happen, but they got all the mandatories figured out, and now on either March 12th or March 19th, right now, it seems that they are going to rematch. They've already agreed to everything in terms. They're just trying to finalize a date. But right now, the favorite is March 12th or March 19th in Houston, Texas. And that's going to be huge right there. I really cannot wait for that. I am so excited for this undisputed title fight, the rematch. I really think it can go either way. Both guys had their successes. I thought Castano won 7-5, but it was close. And Charlo winning the last 3 rounds and hurting Castano a couple times. Castano hurt Charlo once or twice. So, not as bad as Charlo hurt him, but he stunned him a couple times and kept the pressure on. So, it's going to be interesting to see what happens in March. Personally, I'm picking Castano, but again, I wouldn't be surprised if Charlo wins. But if Castano wins, what does he do after that? Does he move up in weight to 160 to challenge the other Charlo brother maybe? Does he stay at 154 and defend, a couple of the belts and vacate the other two? Does he fight Fundora or Erickson Lubin, who's going to be the mandatory or the interim champion of the WBC? It's up in the air, but the winner is going to get a ton of accolades, and they're really going to have, their choice of whatever the hell they want to do up at 160. And, hey, what's his name? Castano might be looking at Jermall Charlo for the WBC title there. He might be looking at Erislandy Lara in a rematch at 160 to put himself in position for something bigger. So we'll see what happens, but I really hope we get a decent sized fight in a really good fight in March between these two world champions, Castano and Charlo. So that's it. That's what I got on my undefeated my undefeated WBO Super Welterweight champion of the world, my co-number 1 Super Welterweight right now, as my 2021 year-end top 10s continue. I hope you enjoyed it. True Boxing, you've been hit with the truth.